Ciao raga, welcome back to Sun Tzu Secrets. I'm here again with my dear friend Ryan. Hey Ryan, how are you?
Good, yourself.
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I unplugged for a week, so I took a pause. We celebrated Thanksgiving, so by the way, happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving to everybody. And I'm but now I'm back, and Ryan, we have a lot to cover today, right?
Yeah, there's a lot out there this last week.
Yeah. So when we were talking, so first of all, thanks everybody for the reception of the first video together with Ryan. We were just talking about it. It was fantastic, honestly. We appreciated all the comments, the interactions, and you guys really following our channel. So thanks a lot again. But I remind once more, the channel is still small, and I know there's a lot of you out there. So please click that subscribe button down there, put like. We are looking for, our ambition is 100 likes for every video. So do not forget to subscribe if you want to get more content so that you don't lose any of them. And also check out our memberships are on YouTube if you'd like, and you can offer a coffee, an espresso coffee, to me and Ryan. We would much appreciate that. Now, with that being said, Ryan, what do we want to start with today?
Feel like we have a lot going on out in the teams of world right now with German comp.
Yeah.
German comp teams is going on. Round two just is wrapping up for some. I think there's a couple more days at the time that we're recording here before the third round kicks off.
Yes, correct. And so we thought together with Ryan, um, that it's interesting probably for you, for all of us here, to really discover together what German comp means, because this is becoming like a word, right? That it floats around, and it's like, oh, this is a German comp, this is Euro comp, this is this and that. So uh, like a quick step back. So we all love Warhammer the Old War, right? But we all know that, especially when it comes to Games Workshop rule books, and army factions books, sometimes, or most of the times, the stuff is not very well balanced. So this is why there's the need, especially coming from the community and the tournament organizer, in order to protect the experience and really make everybody have a great time whenever there is a competitive tournament. Everyone kind of makes its own comps, right, Ryan? Um,
Absolutely.
and like we feel like one of the most popular and used comps to the rule book are the German comps. Those are very popular in Europe in general, in particular in Germany, and that's kind of like the base that was used for the World Tournament Championship. So the WTC that we covered briefly last time, and all the team tournaments and single tournaments that are happening on Warhol and in live in Europe. So one of the objectives of this section of our channel is to bring the competitive landscape to the US in the widest and most complete way possible. Now, we're not leaning towards the German comps. We don't have an opinion. I mean, we do, but like, we're not here to judge what it's right or wrong. It's more like to be informative and share with everybody listening what we're up to. So now I'm gonna leave the word to Mr. Ryan, and I can start sharing. So guys, here you can see the German comps. Well, we will put a link down below in the description, so you can click on it, find it, you can download it. It's a nice PDF, very easy. But Ryan, what can we say top line on how German comps work?
Top line, it's a very wild change to how base old world works. Andreas Fries, the author of German Comp, has put a lot of work into this document. He has it set where normally we would have no flyer restrictions, how a lot of the armies had their core restrictions. He's went and tuned a lot of this down to every single list. Some of it has artillery. We're seeing a lot of cannon spam in the general meta. This sets artillery, including some different types of shooters like multiple wounds or bolt throwers. and compresses that to you can only take 4 of those selections. Flyers, once again, down to 4 of those selections. Some selections even count as multiple flyers. So the way you build a list and approach list building is extremely different. Cathay, like he went and noticed that the issue is in Cathay, said Meow Ying counts as two flyers.
Yeah.
Strategist or a magistrate on a lantern counts as 2. Things to go ahead and start trying to reel in what the meta is and try and make it more balanced. He also has done some stuff outside of the restriction pack. Are we able to go down to, I think, the game changer packs?
Yep. So let me scroll through game
Yep.
changer pack here. Here
Game
it is.
changers.
Yeah.
Game changers. He has taken some of these and changed some of how different units work. Obvious ones like Wood Elves right there at the very bottom. It's a reason that we decided to take it for the teams tournament was because in this comp, he rolled back the you have to roll for your spell on Sisters of the Thorn. And German comp, if you missed being able to select your spells, it's right here. You can go ahead and select those spells on Sisters of the Thorn again and Wood Elves. There's lots of different things within this pack for each different army. We don't have enough time here to go ahead and go through every single thing. That would be an episode of its own. But it is a really good pack. Definitely take a look over it. It doesn't fit everyone's taste in how they want to play the game, but it does make it more entertaining for some, while others get a different way to build. And it's just another challenge for different teams that want to approach the competitive scene.
Yeah, 100%. And I can give my perspective on this as a player of old, right? So I started back in 6th edition and 7th edition of Warhammer Fantasy Battle. So we're talking about 20 years ago. And in a way or another, there was always a composition package behind. At the very beginning of the times, Games Workshop was doing their own restrictions. So they were kind of like recognizing, hey, we went a little bit too heavy here. We overpowered Skaven or Dark Elves, whatever. And they were making their own limitations. Then over time that changed. So that's why on a regional basis, on a country basis, on a on a region basis, all these new composition came out. What I find amazing for me and like super fascinating is all the thought, the big thought process that you have to put behind when you build a list using this system. So, for example, you look at Tomb Kings. Like Tomb Kings are extremely strong. Like we know, it's a top tier army. Great list, many different builds that can work. Mortuary Cult, the Monster Mash, a little bit of everything. In recent times with Cathay coming out, we saw back 2 catapults with 2 caskets with the scrolls to reroll the machine, the artillery die, etc. So there are a lot of things. So when you look at German comps, it's not that easy to spam, right? So it puts a halt to the easy spam of the strongest selection within the army. So for example, I'm also like a TK player. So if you look like above here, it's like you Shabtis are now extremely and heavily impacted. So if you put, for example, like the big block of 8 to 10 counts as 3 war machines. So which by the way, it's the list that I'm running in the German comps team tournament. So um, really that challenges you to use your brain, create a new path for your list, which again is one of the things that we recommend all the times. Is like, don't start with just like putting the best units in there. Think about what's your style, what's your game plan, and then craft and adjust the list to what you need. But you have to take into consideration now the comps. So it's not gonna be that easy to put down 3 cannons and 2 lanterns with Cathay. Actually, practically you almost can't do it. So
Can,
uh,
but it's really tight.
it's really tight. For example, ogres, loaders count as 1 war machine additional. So it's
Mhm.
like either you put 2 cannons with 2 loaders or 3 cannons with 1 loader and all of that. And flyers, as Ryan said, is like either you pick the big balloons or there's no Shugengen Lord. It's like you have to choose between stuff. So that's really interesting. And also if I'm not mistaken, there's an interesting thing here on the Chaos Demons. So Heralds and the Demon Prince can take magic items from the common list of the rulebook, which is crazy and changes a lot for demons, I guess. But again, we will not go through every single one of them because that's like a podcast of its own. The other thing is they changed a little bit what they call the pointed pack. So fixing internal balance. So basically what they did was adjusting the price point, the cost, some very basic stats of the units. For example, again, on demons, 'cause I'm also like a demon lover, uh, the demons of Khorne now they have toughness 4 instead of toughness 3. So there are a little bit of changes. For example, the plague bearers command group doesn't cost anything. So they kind of tried to adjust things so that people can actually field subpar units from the books. And then, so here you have the whole list. So we will not go through every single one of them. And then there are some clarifications, I would say, that they made to terrains and how to build the table. Again, no terrain feature is placed within 12 of the center of the battlefield. So they kind of like went very strict in comping a few things that are either very loose or can create issues. So, Ryan, question to you is, like being a player, being a US player, right? So you play everything. You play GermanComps, you play No Limits, you play everything. What was your impression in playing with the GermanComps?
GermanComp's just very different. A lot of the things that you think might work in a normal meta don't necessarily work. Sometimes it gets flipped. Sometimes the build that you are used to running just doesn't fit anymore because of the restrictions. Uh, I'm a known Monster Mash enjoyer on Cathay. I can't run that in German comp, so I have to run other things. Wood Elves work again. It's a great format to actually play Wood Elves. Uh, so it's definitely a format that me as a competitive player, I enjoy it. It's a good place for me to go ahead and get those reps and just continue working on things. But German comp is actually the one format that I typically bring less. I'm not usually trying to win those events. I'm usually using these events as I want to put other things on the table and then force myself into different play styles and adapt. And this is usually one of my big practice grounds, is because a lot, especially in the online Warhol events for German comp, there is a lot of WTC players in there. A lot of the players from Team Belgium, Team Germany. There's a bunch of Russian players, Ukrainian players. I think there's some players in Spain, Australia, just all over the place that play this German comp online and the Warhol scene. So it's a really good place to go ahead and take some of those lists and then put it against some of the hardest players that you're going to find in the world and just get that practice in.
Yeah, yeah, 100% agree with you. It's like that's the beauty, that's the opportunity, I would say. And by the way, we are super interested in hearing your comments. So post down below in the comments what your impressions are on the pack. How did you find yourself listing? What are the big differences that you went through while listing with German comps? If you ever played an event with German comps versus a no limits format, please let us know what you think, because we would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Don't forget that that's important too. But with that being said, there are also a few changes made to the scoring and determining the winner, as well as the match play guide, which is used, but also has some adjustments, right? So, for example, the quarters table, they do not score in the same way as for the match play guide, and they don't score the same amount of points. So they score 30 points every turn instead of like calculating at the very end with very with way higher bonuses for whoever is controlling it. So that changes. So I think we kind of covered the part on the German comps. So Ryan, do we want to actually, let me bring it back here, which is more, it's easier. Do you want to go ahead and show some of the plays that you've been noticing in your games online? So you gotta know, while Ryan finds it, Ryan is practically playing everywhere all the time. He's putting in a lot of reps. I'm like amazed. How many tournaments are you on right now?
Right now, it's only 3. Just 3.
Oh yeah, just 3. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So Ryan is seeing a lot, and we would love, in the spirit of this new format that we are offering now, it's kind of walk you through some highlights, good and bad, like very brilliant plays or some other plays that we don't feel like are the best, necessarily the best, whenever it comes to a competitive team tournaments. Because playing team tournaments, we might have said that in the previous episode, it's very different than playing singles. Sometimes you have to follow orders, like don't push, or hold, or go for the 20, be aggressive, or be evasive. So based off on all of that, we have to know, you have to be aware of what's your role within the team, and therefore your play style may change from game to game. So Ryan, do you have something for us?
So I do. I was watching one game, and wherein teams we're talking about, sometimes you go all for it. Sometimes you have to be that hold back. But one of those big things is when you are doing teams, you are committing to a score when you are working with your teammates for your captains and whoever else is involved in that pairing process. You're saying that you're going to commit to being able to score a certain value to be able to help your team progress through that round. Sometimes you can hit that value pretty easy. Sometimes you're put into a bad matchup and you're trying to salvage something. And then sometimes you say that you're going to win a match. But then when you don't, it actually hurts your team significantly. So one match I would like to highlight. We're not going to throw names in here. We're just going to show some movement on it.
Yeah, of course, of course. And again, it's like all in the good, in the best interest of learning and reflecting on how much a small move can have a huge impact in a game, and as a consequence in like a bigger the bigger picture. um okay, so
So what we're looking at on this one is we're looking at a Beastman game into Bretonia. Generally, this should be a very favorable matchup for Beastman. Viletide does really, really bad things to Bretonia. But we'll look at this deployment. This was the quarters deployment. So you're going to notice that they're all kind of compressed in the quarters. Now, one thing that I do notice here is these squires were allowed to scout in the back. That could have been prevented with these harpies that really aren't going to do much in this matchup, just being placed back here. Having
yeah,
something in your back line is already a bad thing. Just being able to prevent that with either harpies or ungors that just don't do much in this matchup, probably the optimal plays.
yeah,
You really
and
don't want to have things in the back line, especially when you're on a compressed deployment.
yeah, and as well the squires on the other side. So for everybody who's watching, like who might have just started playing Warhammer, like there are restrictions, right? So ambushers can come in, let's say, or scouts can be placed not everywhere. There are restrictions, like you have to be 12 inches away in the case of scouts from like the closest enemy unit, or you cannot be within 8 inches when you come in from any side, any edge of the table, and all of that. So when you deploy, one of the things you should check is, number one, am I worried about scouts or ambushers? Yes or no? And based off on that, some of the units that you deploy should prevent or at least discourage heavily the opponent to do that, which is what Ryan is telling us.
Yep. So other than that, these deployments look pretty good. You have a lot of your compressed. This is running a Death Star over here, so everything kind of needs to hover around the Death Star, minus like some chaff that you want to be able to screen off things that you didn't want to have. This is German comp, so we will notice that these knight errants aren't actually in a lance; they're in a closed order formation instead. German comp does have a limitation on the frontage that you're allowed to have. So this player is playing his big brick of knight errants and close order. We'll make a lot of these transitions quick. We'll notice his turn 1, he actually starts pushing up. This is pretty okay. The only thing that I probably would have done differently here is this does not want to go tallying off on its own. There's a Smash Duke over here with that Ogre Blade, Syrian's Locket, and Virtua Knightly Temper that can just go ahead and murder this thing at any time that it wants to, as long as it gets the charge. So this really kind of wants to help screen and push off around this brick instead of going off on its own. It doesn't do much in this matchup on its own. We'll notice this Bretonia player, pretty passive, makes some moves. He does get this Smash Duke over here. Obviously, we're looking. It looks like they played another turn in here without hitting the past
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
So it looks like there was a double click. But we'll notice that the Duke comes way over. Some of this other stuff starts to move. There was a combat down here. Once again, really quick. Looks like
so
their turn
you basically managed to remove the squires, right?
Yep.
With the harpies, I think.
Yep.
So it was able to fix it.
I mean, he fixed it, but that's a turn that those get. Realistically, that should have been probably fixed on turn 1 instead of a turn 2.
Yeah.
Turn 3, we're gonna talk because we see this. It doesn't look like they hit the click on end turns in between, so there wasn't a lot going on here. So we're missing some of the picture, but it looks like what he sees here is he wanted to push this. I've seen this list. This has MR1 on it. It looks like he wanted to try and get this big old gore brick with all those wizards to try and go ahead and vile tie it out here. Unfortunately, what we're going to see is we get the ambushers on. The Smash Duke did come through and do what a Smash Duke does and murders out the. Looks like he loses both the pig and chaos spawn. No, the pig's over here still. It's still alive. It's doing all right. But he does lose his spawn over here, which is a massive blow. That's 100 and some points right there. We have one spawn that's not really in the fight. It's just kind of hanging around in the wrong spot. We have a pig that's out here doing really nothing on its own. And we have a brick that's now very out of position. I want to talk about this snapshot right here because this is
important for the game.
Massively important. So this brick, this I believe is Vortex of Chaos, which means that it's not difficult terrain anymore. It used to be. So charging through that would have been the -1, take the low. Since the changes in 1.5, this just does damage. It doesn't do anything terrain-wise. So it's there. But that's up to this Bretonian player to decide, do I actually care about taking a little bit of damage coming through this? Probably not. It's strength 2. This has now left itself wide open. In German comp, this field is not actually difficult terrain or anything. So it's not hampering this movement at all.
That was my question. I was like, but he's in the field. But yes, that has been overcome by the rules. Again, this is a good example. Like we've already seen a couple of things that probably would have been different with outside German comps. Like for example, having that unit of errands in close order. Number 2, differences in terrains and all of that. So you need to know that and be prepared. But that's certainly interesting. So if we freeze here, you might think, I mean, there's a strategy behind this, which is I move the big block because I'm going to Valtide those pegs. But again, what do you need to get Valtide off? So of course he's close to the Hearthstone. so great. So he gets the bonuses. But again, MR1, so you get a -1 to cast, which will reduce likely your likelihood of getting those Valtide through.
Yep. And this is Grand Army. We know this just from the spawn being there. It's not Wild Herd, so he's not getting the extra +1 for all the shaman being there.
Right, correct. So again, like you get the malus, you don't get the bonus, and you're offering basically, I think we can say that pretty clearly. You're offering the flank to a massive charge, which now we don't have the distance, but being like an online player too, I would say that is probably at 13, 14.
Probably 14, 15 maybe.
Yeah. So probably he will need like a 6 or 7, no, 6 on dice. Yeah. With
6.
Swift Stride. So that's a likely. That's a
It's
likely
very
shot.
likely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, so let's see what happens.
So before we get there, I want to talk about what else is going on here. We have these pegs. Pegs are definitely within charge range. This is an errantry list. This has generally a 23-inch threat range.
Mm-hmm.
He's well within that. So we've moved this inside here. We have this in range. And I want to talk about these squires. These squires, brilliantly placed by this Bretonian player. Doesn't look like much is going on with them. They probably aren't doing much in the way of threatening by damage. But if you look at the scenario, we have potential because of the flea rules. You cannot stop a flea move within an inch of another unit. So if you're within an inch, you have to keep going. And we have a big old brick setting very, very close to something that could, what I would love to call it, is a VIP escort right off the board.
Yes, they would basically drag them and throw them out of the table in no time. Huh?
Yeah, they are the bouncers in this game. So we'll notice turn 3.
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah.
We have this. These guys make their charge because of how they end up coming in with that mostly straight line.
Yep.
They end up offset. We have the pegs that come in. They did a bunch of damage. And because this is the bigger unit now, the flea route is that way. And off they went.
Yeah. So yes, exactly. So once again, I know that the majority of the people watching know the rules very well, but for those who don't know it, it's like you don't flee like directly away from the unit, but you flee center to center from the biggest unit. So in this case, I don't know how many pegs are left, but some of them might have died in response, whatever. But clearly, that is a 4.
Looks like 2 pegs die in the exchange.
Yes.
But
Yeah. So we have a lot of knights which have unit strength 2. So they are by far now the biggest unit. So he will actually have to flee center to center, which puts him in a diagonal move that makes him impact the squires right there.
I think in the game it was a fallback in good order.
Yeah.
So even on a fallback in good order, because it is still a flea move, he still had to go through all of this.
Yeah.
So
and at that point, you have
because
no
he couldn't
other.
stop with these. Yeah, he couldn't stop on these because when the pivot happens, you have to continue across, which then put him here. He was within an inch, and then it just right off. One small mistake in that movement right there, just giving that flank was enough to seal that game. That's, I think, like a 1,300 point brick that just
Yeah, of course.
in one move on turn 3.
Yeah, no, certainly. And again, this is an example, and now I didn't see the game, but looks like the player was very clear, like the Bretonian player was very clear on the moves, so that's why those squires were positioned the way they were. And this is something that's marks a difference from casual players even when you're playing in a tournament, but let's say it's just a little bit more relaxed, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm moving here, I'm moving there. Here, every move is carefully thought of, carefully strategized, and carefully executed. So the other thing that I just want to remind everybody, which was great in the previous episode, which, by the way, you will see at the end of this video, there's the link to our first episode with Ryan, where we talked about his game with a member of the Team Italy team for WTC, which was an amazing team, an amazing game. But again, like also putting the skirmisher in less than 3 inches for the charge, so that you lose. So all these little details, like I'm gonna put the squires this way so that if I charge you, it's gonna be center to center. You flee off the board, so or you fall back in good order through me. So all of those things are really, really like very fine tactics that you won't find likely in the normal games. So again, our suggestion is go out, play, go on Warhol if you really want to improve your gaming skills and become like a more complete and 360-degree player. Go check it out. Play outside of your comfort zone. Find new players. Hopefully, player that are way stronger than you, so that hopefully you're gonna lose big time, and then you'll get better, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the more reps you get into those good players, you're going to start seeing those situations where it's kind of telegraphed. You might be able to see it, you might not. But once you start seeing those, you won't unsee them and you won't make those same mistakes again.
Oh yeah, I love this. Once you see something, you can't unsee it. And again, like we can quote big people from sports or from life in general, but everybody's saying very clear thing, like you really improve when you lose. You don't improve when you win, but you
Mhm.
need to lose to improve so that you can win most of the games. So that's really interesting. So Ryan, thanks a lot for sharing this. That was amazing. Um,
Absolutely.
and then I would say, in the spirit of continuing this conversation on competitive game and changes to the balance, to the meta, how can we improve the list? What can change? What will likely change is we all know that GW announced a new Arcane Journal, which is the Raising of the Westerland, which we don't know honestly when it's coming out. I think it's
It's
gonna
out. It's out today.
it's out to that. Okay, perfect, great. So I'm the one who didn't know. Sorry again. I was disconnected for a week, so it's here. But we have a little bit of a sneak peek. I'm sure you guys may have seen it somewhere around the internet. But what Ryan and I wanted to let you know is that there are some very interesting news, not only for Chaos, but for a lot of other armies, basically everybody, virtually everybody, because there are a new set of magical items. So, Ryan, what do you want to discuss? Do you want me to go to the magic items at the end,
I
or
mean,
do you?
we can get there. We can get there. We can talk about what the new toys chaos is getting here.
Yeah,
Um, looks like their Marauders are getting these new Chaos Cults, replacing those marks.
yeah,
So gone are the days of the Marauders Inch Bunker. It's gone. And sorry about your loss, Chaos, but it's no longer something you get. No more toy. What you get instead is these new marks for your Marauders. Um, realistically, in a competitive sense, just at a high level look at this, there's only really one, maybe two that we want to actually look at out of this. That cult of the Bloody Hound,
yeah,
that getting that +1 to weapon skill once per game. It's not insignificant.
no,
It's enough that it could be a crucial charge. You get that +1. You're hitting on threes instead of fours.
yeah, that's right.
Uh,
That would be the corn mark, right? So
that would be
that
the cult.
the blooded hound sounds like a corn a god in disguise, huh?
Absolutely. And then we get that Cult of the Carrion Crow. That's really the only other one that we even need to look at in here. It's that being able to get that +1 modifier to toughness for a turn. That that's big. Having a turn of T5 berserkers and being able to throw some berserkers up in someone's face where that now they need to roll sixes to wound you makes them pretty scary. That's nothing to bat an eye at when you're running flail, some frenzy at them, and now you're T5 instead of T4. Those naked boys are no longer the easy kills that they were. Um, the other two, I mean, you're getting poisoned attacks for one turn in a game. It's not it's not nothing, but I don't think it's worth investing points into. And once again, the Fell Raptor is a 6-up ward for one turn, and it's only against non-magical.
Nah.
It's not something that I would concern myself over much. It's not going to swing a game too much at
Yeah,
all.
I agree. Like for the kind, and again, everything changes based off on the kind of player you are and what's your role if it's a team tournament. So, for example, for the kind of player I am, I like the Cult of the Carrion Crow. I think that's huge. Like going up to toughness 4 or T5 for one turn when it's needed, it's big. And I'm reading up. A character with a mark of chaos can join a unit belonging to any chaotic cult.
Mhm.
So that's also interesting. So you can beef it up with like some nice characters
Yep.
inside, and the unit gets the +1 toughness, which is great, or the +1 weapon skill. To your point earlier, so I think there's something interesting here. So um okay, that's great. I like this. Like, let's look what we have next. Oh, these are the new Marauders.
Yeah, there's not a lot of changes. It looks like we just went up an extra base size from 25 to 30s.
Oh yeah.
Uh, they've got great weapons now. Great
Hmm,
weapons are nice because hey, we can actually go ahead and swing at +2 strength all the time, but strikes last.
hmm.
Not nothing, but not something to shake our hands at either. We might see someone get spicy with it and take them. Uh,
Hmm.
outside of that, we're looking at just the extra cost for those Colts. It's not very much, just 1 point per model. Uh,
Yeah. No, it's absolutely doable. I mean, it's not expensive. You
they
can
gave
run a nice block.
yeah, they gave the champions the ability to take some 25-point items.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that, I mean, it's nothing huge. Looks like they also gave him shield wall and the
Oh, and
ability to take
Warband. Hmm.
yep, and
Yeah.
warband. Yeah, horde,
Well,
warband, shield wall.
yeah.
Nothing huge. 6 points per model. They're not bad.
I mean, I would say so. I mean, there are so if you think about it now, I'm trying to think, and again, like, let us know your comments in the down below, what ideas you have for your list or how to build it. But for example, you can give them great weapons. You can give them the +1 toughness, so you have guys that are weapon skill 4, which is it's decent. Like maybe if it's not an elite unit, maybe they're gonna hit you on fours. Maybe you have a magic buff or whatever. T4, and then they swing back strength 5, AP 2, which is not bad. Like strike last, true. But again, with the new rules of infantry, if you have a big block, you may swing back and get some damage out of it.
Mhm.
And then also you can exchange. I see that now skirmisher, like an ambusher skirmisher unit. It's not 0.1 unit per oh, so you can put 2 units
Yep.
for 1,000
Yep.
points. Well, that might be an interesting build to look at. Good, 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 good. I like this. New horseman,
Horsemen's, they gave them shields. Everyone gets shields now. We're
so
still
5
only
up.
12. Yeah, 5 up all the time. 12-point models. I
Hmm,
mean, we're not looking at anything major here. We still have the flails, we still have the cav spears. We're getting those extra different colts. The champions are now getting that extra 25-point item.
okay.
Uh, nothing major change here outside of them going from 25 by 50 bases to 30 by 60s.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
really just kind of a resize because of the new range that came out. But I mean,
Amazing
nothing,
new models. Yeah.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But
once again, go check it out. In the previous episode, Ryan and I were talking about those, and we showed pictures. I mean, you can find them everywhere. They are just so good. It's insane. Um,
and the one thing I can say about those extra 25 points, those those champions are getting is we probably see a lot more brazen collars inside the chaff.
Of
So
course.
now their chaff is going to have that MR2 that Chaos is famous for.
Yeah, that's interesting. So no more clearing that chaff with magical missiles, or it's gonna be a lot harder to get those through. Interesting.
So we also did get chaos traits with this book.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting some for the characters. We're getting some for the warriors, the knights, the marauders. Uh, lots of different lots of different traits. Some of them get more than others based on what their allocation is. It's kind of the same as what we were looking at for those scrolls out of TK when we got Cetra's Fury. Looks like it might be an ongoing theme with the new Arcane Journals that we might start getting more toys like that.
Yeah. Yeah, which is interesting, by the way. And I think I've seen in one of the groups, for example, the scrolls of the TK, they do not count towards the magical items because they're not magical items. So they are bought on top. So that gives you extra possibility to build synergies, combos, and all of that without, giving up on the current setup of your character.
Exactly. Outside of that, we're looking at here's the new traits. Some of the new traits that enhance reflexes. You can get really spicy with that one. I think I was looking at it when I saw this come out. You can get up to like initiative 6, initiative 7 Chaos Warriors if you give them Slanesh. You've got some long striders. We can see a lot more Vanguard. Looks like 0 to 1 of those per 1K. So we can get a couple extra Vanguards into the list. Dark Hearts, I think, is what? That's just a leadership debuff. I think there's a couple of ways that Chaos can throw leadership debuff out at the moment. So could go for some different break plays. Outside of that, I mean, we're not looking at anything major inside these. Brazen Will being 10 points for a character, 15 points for a unit for an MR. So you don't have to necessarily give up your magic item slot there.
Yeah.
It's not big, but I mean, there's some nice things here. The biggest one I think I see in here is that unnatural fortitude.
I was about to say, I was thinking the same. That is interesting. I mean, the unit is 2 points a model, and you get +1 toughness. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Wow. So can you give this to the Marauders? No.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, so
one
round.
You can see some T5 Marauders.
Yeah, that's good. Like goes in combo with the mark with the cult. So
nope.
Yeah, weapon skill 4, ambushers. T5 1 turn, great weapons. 6 up arbor save.
Nothing that we haven't seen before, but I mean it's nothing to bat an eye at either.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Also Brazen Will, 15 points per unit, just infantry or cavalry, which is great. A unit gains magic resistance once. You can have,
I mean, if you don't want to buy that brazen collar and you want to save 10 points, you can go MR1 instead of MR2.
Yeah, that's also like a good opportunity here. I like that. And we also got a whole new set of magics. The so-called magic of the waste.
Kicking it off with a signature spell is another magic missile. I mean, I don't see this one getting much traction. It's just it's not blue fire. Blue fire is too good.
Yeah, blue fire is great. I wish Demons of Chaos would have that.
Right.
Yeah.
But a 3-inch blast template, I don't see this one getting too much play. I mean, it is AP3 under the
strength 4. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's neat, but I think that realistically, we still see more of the blue fires or anything like that if someone's playing Mage Bunker.
Yes, blue fire for sure is like given the spell, it's probably a very good spell. Like it's probably better. What's the range of this? 15 plus the template. So it's 16 and a half, all things considered, but then again it would scatter the 3. Yeah, that's the thing. Like it scatters. It's okay. Okay, but that's not bad. I mean, I've seen worse. Let me put it
There's
this
much
way.
worse out there, but
Yeah. All right. Let's see the proper spells.
Black and Bolts is really, really good. I like that one a lot. It goes off on an 8-up, 2d6
Wow.
strength 3 with AP1,
18
and
inches. That's good.
it causes panic.
Oh, just one wound? Oh yeah, one or
1
more
wound,
wounds,
and we have panic.
and you have panic. Look at that. Not bad at
So
all.
if you're able to chip things down, get them below that 50%, now you can just try and sneak a wound in instead of having to try and do another potential push to get that
Hmm,
panic check. You might
hmm.
be able to get them to flee off of something as simple as a single wound that way.
Yeah.
Veil of Gloom, not bad. I mean, we're looking at a 4-up ward against any wounds suffered that were caused by a template, or 5-up ward against things in shooting. I mean, we're looking at some Empire kind of throw over here,
Template.
but
So against Cathay works.
against Cathay, it works.
I mean, against the Dragonfire bomb,
Exactly.
the Sky Lantern bombs,
Yep,
like
yep.
not the Dragonfires. Oh, but you get. Oh wait, you get a 4-up against the Lantern bombs, and you get a 5-up against everything else Cathay. Oh,
Yep.
on
Yeah,
the
as long as
unit.
it's in the shooting phase, they're
Hmm.
getting all sorts of ward saves.
Look at that. With a +1 toughness combined, starts to be hard to get those wounds in. Very good.
Vortex of Darkness, we're looking at Unquiet Spirits in a Vortex version. 3d6 strength 2 with no armor saves. Sound familiar?
Oh,
Uh,
anyway. Ooh, that's huge. That's not bad. 15 inches and then 3 inches and then it scatters. D6
yep.
during every. Wow.
It's not bad. It could be a lot worse. Could be a lot better, but
Yeah.
could be the old Pillar of Fire where we got to direct it. But we get what we get, and
Yeah.
we're going to be happy with this one.
No, absolutely. I think, I mean, I also have a Chaos Warrior army somewhere. It's not complete. I might consider this. Like, I'm starting to see a pattern that I can use. Yeah, it's true. It scatters every turn, but it's also difficult terrain. So
Yep.
if you place it the first time, like in a decent spot, I mean, the problem is that it scatters. You don't decide the direction. But anyway, and it goes off on a 10, so it's really hard to get rid of it,
Yeah, absolutely.
even with a level 4 within 24 of the vortex.
Now
Because
we'll come back to that getting rid of it later once we get to some
oh,
further parts in this journal.
clearly
We'll-
I didn't read the journal
we'll
before.
think- So then we got Shadowed Assailants,
Yeah.
Unquiet Spirits, and a Assailment. No armor, no regen. It's actually just really a scream, but it's only strength 1, so you're only wounding on 6s in most cases. But I
Which is
mean,
fine. I mean, that doesn't change much compared to Unquiet Spirits. Anything T4 or above, it's still on 6s. That's not bad too. Assailment spell.
yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's not no armor, no regens means that you can shut off a lot of different saves.
Yeah, yeah.
Crawling Miss, reserve moves.
Oh,
It is Hellish Vigor or Desert Winds for Chaos, but it's only a 6-inch radius.
so
Uh,
casting value 6 or 9 on self.
yep. So it's
Every
1
friend.
unit or a 6-inch radius instead of command range like Vigor or Desert Winds is.
Yeah, and I was about to say when I was looking at the other spells, I was like, yeah, if you would have reserve move, that would make some of the other bolts even more interesting. So imagine now a blackened bolt with a range that is actually a little bit more because you can actually reserve move after. You can
Absolutely.
put them in like a skirmish formation or open order formation and then pivot. So see that there are a lot of things that can be intertwined. And once again, looking at stuff from a competitive perspective makes you think immediately, how can I create a theme around this list? Like how can I maximize? How can I capitalize on this? Like how much things can I stack on top of each other to maximize the output so I can do reserve move, more balls, more firepower if I want to go that way, be more aggressive, be more tanky, you know?
And I mean, Chains of Darkness for a final on that one. I mean, you give a -1 to movement and leadership.
Ooh.
Not bad. If we're gonna play it along with Black and Bolts, we can get some stacking debuffs and leadership.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
you take the panic check with -1.
Yep.
So
I mean, it
finally,
doesn't turn off Inspiring Presence, but you can still potentially panic something that needs to go away.
yeah, something with leadership 8, you bring it up to 7, and then those dice are heavy when you have to check on a panic. Yeah, no, absolutely. And also the -1 movement, honestly, it's not bad. I mean, it's, you just need to get this off, and then it gets casted on an 8. It's range 18. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, cool. I like this new lore. It's really
Now
cool.
we get into the spice. We get
Okay,
into the
here we go.
spice of this journal. So here's the new magic items everyone gets. We'll just kick it right off with that cackling blade. 65 points. Old ogre blade points. Strength +1, AP
Mhm.
1,
Okay,
D6 extra attacks.
cool. Okay, magical attack.
D6. That-
Yeah, it's a lot.
But if you roll 6, you lose a single wound. However, because of the new wording for lose a wound, if you throw this on a guy with a regen, he
You
can still
still
regen back that wound.
Yeah, and you still get your 6 extra attacks,
Exactly.
which would put you on a 10, 11 attacks.
So things that are already strength 5 might see some play with this. Maybe a Tomb King on a Necrolith Bone Dragon running a Cackling Blade and a Talisman of Protection.
Mhm.
Talisman of Protection.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, he rolls it off, takes a wound, and picks it back up either in regen or healing it off the next turn.
Oh yeah,
Interesting little
100%.
piece. Interesting little piece for 65 points. It's got a lot of play. It can do a lot of things into things like ethereal that are creeping up more and more.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Anything that is a base strength 5 goes up to 6. If you're strength 6, goes up to 7, which is not bad. Even a demon prince
Hmm.
with that, plus the buffs from magic, dark magic, or demonology, anything else that will buff additionally. Yeah, that thing becomes. And with German comps, I can get
Hmm.
that on my demon prince for my demon's army.
Absolutely. Then we got the Meteor Hammer. Meteor Hammer is kind of cute. I like it. Strength 3, AP 3. AP
Whew.
3. Magic attacks, two-hander. You always wound on a 3-up. Always on a 3-up.
50 points, not bad.
Fits on a Shuggy.
So you wound very easily, and you do a lot of AP. Combined with, a Plague of Rust, that's AP 5.
Absolutely.
It's
And it's a 50.
basically no
It's
armor
50
save.
points. It fits on a hero.
Yeah, correct. Correct. Nice. Very good. I like this a lot.
Hellforged Axe at 30 points, strength 1, AP 1, armor bane 3.
Okay. Need to get lucky
Flaming
with the 6s, but
flaming, so it might come to bite you in the end if you end up running into someone who's got those extra wards for flamings.
for flamings, yeah.
But I mean, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's not the best I've seen either.
Yeah.
Sword of Sorrow. This thing is amazing. 30 points, it looks like.
Yeah. I would
Strength,
say so, yeah.
yeah, I think it's 30.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I agree.
it's a ranged weapon. 30-inch range, strength 5, AP 1, Bane 2,
Multiple
multiple
wounds too.
wounds 2.
So
And you don't get a ward or regeneration save against it.
hmm, okay. I like this, but so you make a single attack.
It's a ranged weapon, so you're using it in the shooting phase. I can see things like on wood elves. Throw
Yeah,
it
well,
on a
yeah,
waystalker, and now I don't have to worry about things like your banshee being too close to the unit. I can just sniper for a strength 5 multiple wounds 2 where you don't get a save against it. No more screams. And to lanterns, it's strength 5. I wound you on a 4. It's AP 1. You
CP1,
don't
so
get
you save on 5s, and then you don't get anything else.
exactly. So it's a neat little tech piece. I can see it going to like Sisters of Avalorn. I can see it going into Wood Elves. I can see it going into a couple other ranged
Yeah,
units where you've got like Ballistic Seal 5, Ballistic Seal 6.
yeah,
This just being
absolutely.
able to pick things off or pick up a tough target that's got multiple save stacks. It's
Yeah,
not
it's not
bad.
bad. 30 points. 30 points, guys. It's not that much. It's not that much. I like that.
Um, these are pretty cut off, but we do have
Yeah.
what they are. So the first one's the floating shield. 25 points. You can use it while using a two-hander, but you can only do it if you're infantry.
Okay. Okay.
Not bad. You can put this on a Doom Bull. You can go ahead and run that two-handed weapon, still be
Yeah.
done at a 2-up save. Some
See,
neat little things you can do with it. We'll see what the community ends up running with it, but for 25 points, very usable.
yeah.
Uh, the Trailblazer's Halberd, so pseudo heavy armor. You get to move through cover and scout for 20 points. Throw it on a hero, throw it on a character.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Now you can scout demons. Demons, you can put it on the demon prince. You can scout that demon prince.
Not bad.
Some different neat little things you can do with that for 20 points. Once again, it's a very usable point range. It's not really taken up too much that you can't utilize it very well. The Talisman of Fortitude for 35 points. You're immune to multiple wounds. Infantry or cavalry.
Well, that is how many points? 35. This is interesting. With all those multiple wounds coming out, like cannons, war machines, caskets, ogre blades, you know, all of that.
I see Bretonnia are probably rolling this. They'll be able to Syrians lock it one character. Talisman of Fortitude a second. Now you have two pegs that they don't take multiple wounds. You can't cannon them off. Can't do a lot of things into that. So definitely some play with that one. We'll see where the community once again goes with it. But I do think that we'll probably see it in the competitive scene.
Nice. I like that.
The next talisman looks like
any model makes the several during the shooting phase must re-roll any rolls to wound of a natural 6. Okay, so this is in the shooting phase or combat phase. It's combat. It's in both. It's a Mark of Nurgle.
Mark of Nurgle. It's neat. It's cute. I like it. But on something like a lantern that's just hanging out where they need to wound it on 6s for regular shooting, maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little heavy at 30 points, but we might see it used. We might not. You're gonna have to figure out what you want to do with your considerations on that. 30 points is kind of heavy.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not seeing any item that you would say, yeah, nah, like not really. I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, I've seen a good chunk of this be usable in tournaments as well as anywhere else. Okay, then Banner of the Steadfast. Belong to the losing side. You can fall back in good order. Oh, this I like. This is very tactical. Now, 50 points is a lot of points, but allows you to play and take some other risks because you know you're never going to break and flee. But 50 points, that's a little expensive, right?
It's a heavy cost. Yeah. But for things where you want to be able to break Death Stars or be able to punch them in the face, maybe you need that for your build. Maybe you are too heavy of a elite army to be able to field those things, to not be double outnumbered all the time. Maybe you do need that 50 points for your build that you're working on.
Yep. And again, guys, think about team tournaments. You might be the one that gets thrown off at big bricks, and then you have an answer to it. Like, I'm just making it up right now, but I'm just, you hear what I'm saying? It's like when you switch to heavily competitive team tournaments, anything matters. Even magical items that you wouldn't field in a single or in a not ultra competitive game, that becomes a game changer
Something
for
like
your army.
something like a 70-point banner out of Bretonia, Banner of the Lady's Grace. You don't take
Exactly.
those negative like leadership modifiers. Probably not an item you're taking in singles, but in teams that can be make or break because now all of a sudden you can deal with mortuary cult, you can deal with those vampire counts.
Exactly. Very, very easily. We went through that when we did our tournament, our WTC online altogether. That was one of the plays we had in mind for Luna. So that was great. Yeah. So that's a great example. So Totem of Wrath. Yeah, that looks also nice. AP plus 1 AP and reroll the ones. But again, 50 points, again, like expensive, but on the right unit, that becomes a nasty unit.
Put it on a BSB and some Pegasus Knights with an errantry banner, and now
Yeah.
you're strength 7, rerolling your ones, AP3, AP4 on Bane. I mean, you can do some nasty things. Put it on some Jade Lancers, and now they're AP2 on a charge instead of AP1.
Yeah.
We'll see
Agree.
what this one comes to. I mean, it's not unusable. It's a little expensive, but it's not bad. Swirling Wind. I see this one getting used a lot.
Minus
It's
one to
cheap,
hit.
30 points, -1 to be hit and shooting.
Yeah.
And it can be used in the stand and shoot phase. Like it doesn't get ignored by stand and shoot. Because there's some banners where it says that it only gives that -1 during the shooting phase. This one says to being shot. So how those are worded definitely matters. This one could be used in
That
conjunction with things.
shoot. Mhm.
Yep.
I can see already like FAQs and like clarifications, but yeah, that's for 30 points. Again, like I'm seeing some anti-Cathay stuff in here. So now I hope that they will not nerf it too hard. Otherwise, it will quickly become a subpar army.
I
Pretty
feel like
quick.
what we definitely see this maybe in Beastman. Another -1 with Pelt to Midnight. Now that big old gore brick is -2 to be shot. We can potentially see this inside maybe some Tomb Kings, where now all of a sudden a unit is the Swirling Wind. I think there's another item that gives them another -1 to be shot and
Yeah.
shooting, and
Yeah.
then you can live protection, and now they're -3 to be shot at.
Yeah, or like a
Mm,
level 1 with glittering robes. Like,
Yep.
yeah, you can
Minus
do you
four.
can do.
I think you can stack -4 and Tomb Kings with that thing.
Yeah, I think 1, 2, 3, -3 for sure. So plus I think it's the orb of the sun, something like that. It's in like in the I think it's in the Arcane Journal. But yes, like that's another great point. Now, Monster Hunter's Tapestry.
This is going to reshape the meta as we know it.
Is it?
I
Okay.
feel like we're going to see a lot more Death Stars because of this.
Oh, you can't stomp.
Yeah,
Oh,
every enemy units cannot make stomp attacks against a unit carrying the Monster Hunter's Tapestry.
wow.
That
This is big.
Death Stars are going to now be a problem. You can't shove monsters into it. You
Wow.
can't,
That's
can't
big.
yeah,
That's
dragons
big.
just can't do the things that they want to do into some of those Death Stars. So that one item, I have a feeling, is going to reshape a lot of how the meta is in the next
Yeah.
three
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
games than we are today.
Wow. And again, like in going back, it's like -1 to be hit, reroll the sixes, +1 toughness. Like you can do some interesting combos between traits, upgrades, magical banners, other stuff that are like already there in the armies. Guys, I think this Arcane Journal changes a lot for everybody, Cathay included.
Yep. Arch Lightning Rod. Everyone now gets a Falcon Horn. 40 points, single use. Roll your leadership. Your opponent doesn't get fly. Cathay gets 2 no fly turns now. If we decide to take it, just saying,
Mhm.
Bretonia can roll a couple. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a couple of armies that can now just turn off your fly for a couple turns. It definitely a consideration point in your building. Uh, Potion of Fervor, D3 extra attacks for a turn, 30
Mhm.
points.
Oh man, okay, 30
Could be
points.
could be
Okay.
worth it.
Yeah.
The Calming Orb. So one-time use
One time.
goes off with a power level of 1.
So in the
Is
7.
drain magic. It's drain magic. Everyone gets it, but it's only one-time use. You might not get it off. Need
Yeah,
to
20 points. Okay.
20 points. If you got an extra 20 to throw,
Yeah.
maybe you pick it up, maybe you don't. Let's talk about that staff of quietude, though.
Yeah.
We're talking about those
So,
removals.
the bearer can attempt to unleash the power. All the remains in play currently, including spell cast by friendly models.
So you want to get rid of all those templates? You want to get rid of all those remains in play effects? 35 points. Put it on an undead army. They can re-roll that leadership.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is good.
Put it on a dude who's veteran. Now all
Yeah.
of a sudden, it might not be as big of a problem. You might not have those spiritual vortexes or some of those other vortexes as a major problem point. You're still gonna have to put it on a caster, but for 35 points, it's definitely usable.
100%. I also like a lot the Scroll of Disruption. That is good. 30 points once per turn, so you can use it every turn. You re-roll the D-spell. That's good.
That's insanely good.
That's good. Wow.
Tome of Spellcraft is just as good.
Wow. This is really, really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Spellcraft, re-roll your casting roll once per turn. Everyone gets to be high elves.
My God.
Need something like a spectral doppelganger to go off?
Yeah.
Maybe you take this. Maybe.
I think, yeah. So they basically made, both in attack and defense, something to, because again, with the changes coming from 1.5, the magic phase have changed a lot, and the list building did change as well too. And I mean, again, check out our previous podcast when we interviewed the captains, Captain America, Captain England, Captain Italy. They all said we are bringing less with no magic because of the changes, but now some of this can change the picture again. So the meta will shift very, very quickly again. Wow. Like this last arcane items are really, really good.
Yeah, it's
Really good.
definitely a meta defining journal.
Yeah. Wow. That is great. So interesting. I think we are living in exciting times, Ryan, for Warhammer the Old World, right? So I think we can realistically be and genuinely be very optimistic for the future. I think we are living a new golden age for Warhammer Fantasy. I mean, I honestly, I mean, I believe it. I mean, I really mean it. And by the way, since we are here, the other thing I wanted to wait, no, I bring the wrong one. This is what I wanted to stress for everybody. I think that there is an interesting thing, and we're going to close on this because to me, this is huge. So, we recently in the Warhammer community, GW posted the article for the new Marauders, the new Arcane Journal, also announced a new round of FAQ and errata. So we don't know how big it's going to be. It might be as big as the 1.5. I wouldn't be surprised. Might be a little bit smaller, but might be very impactful. But look what it's saying. It's scheduled for the end of January. So it's basically coming in a month and a half. So guys, it's happening tomorrow. So after the holidays, we will have a nice gift from GW. We'll include a number of balance updates for factions old and new. So now they might say that old means all the old factions that we know, like Empire, Warriors of Chaos. But what if that old refers to the legacy factions? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't see it happening too much. I got it on pretty good word that we're probably just looking at old as in Forces of Fantasy and Ravening Hordes.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. But I'm throwing out there because I'm a huge I don't want to say that I mean I love plotting, but I like to read between the lines, and I will be very happy when they will announce the Legacy faction coming back, because they will. I'm 100% convinced we're going to see Legacy factions coming back at some point, maybe in 3 years from now. But yeah, most likely it's going to be for the existing 10 factions that we already have. New certainly refers to Cathay. So guys, rest in peace to the old lanterns. I think they will be heavily nerfed, but we'll see. But I'm just leaving with this message. If they are going to update or FAQ or errata some of the old factions PDF, or even all of them, it means that the scope has changed for the legacy factions too. Maybe yes, maybe no, probably not, but who knows?
Maybe.
All right. I think we came across the end. So thank you everybody watching. Like and subscribe. Please subscribe, because I know there's 60% of our viewers with these videos with Ryan are not subscribed. So guys, please be nice, subscribe. And thanks to Ryan, I'm really loving our chats. So we will keep the space and even increase it. So we will throw out new contents with Ryan. We have tons of ideas. So we're going to see you soon. And thanks everybody for watching.